Hey everybody, welcome back to Throttle Grotto. So today is an exciting day here. Not to mention the eclipse going on. So like the lighting is really strange here right now. It's like it's dusk, but it's like the highest point of the eclipse is right now. I'm not going to point the camera to it, but the highest or the most coverage of the moon over the sun thing is going on right now. So the lighting out here is really strange, but that's okay because by the time I get all this junk moved out of the way and the car out here and the driveway sprayed down and the compressor fired up and all that kind of stuff, the lighting's going to be back to normal. So so that's our goal for today, is get that car in primer today. I got a few other projects I need to get done today, but we're not going to talk about those right now. So, but good news is I have another rallycross coming up with the Rally Prius. So that will be September 2nd, Labor Day weekend. And I got a big truck, so I'm going to pause here for a second. All right, truck turned down the other way. So yeah, Riverdale Raceway in Toutle, Washington, September 2nd. So there'll be more rallycross footage coming for those of you that are looking forward to that. Got a few things I need to do to the old Rally Prius. It's got 72,000 miles on it now, so needs a few little things touched up before we go. Nothing major, just like some refreshed suspension bits. And I've got something special in store for the front end of that car. So enough blabbing. It's time to get to work. I've got a lot to do, and need to get that car in primer today, so that I have to pull one of the body panels off and go to the paint store with it so they can scan it with their color scanner, so that I can make sure they get the right color for the interior. So when I go to paint it later this week, maybe tomorrow, we'll see, that I get a color that matches. So that's the plan. Let's get to it. So this is probably the first time you've seen this car without all the junk on it. It's actually kind of like, I haven't seen it for a while without the junk on it either. But here it is. It's so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit this whole car with compressed air, because, hold on a second, I'm going to plug my camera back in. Alright, so we're going to hit everything with compressed air to kind of loosen up all the dirt. As you can see, I mean, I took the car cover off of it and it was just covered in junk. So we're gonna blow out all the nooks and crannies, get all the loose stuff off. Then I'll wipe the car down inside. Now I'm gonna put some water down on the ground to keep the dust down as well. And then I'll show you guys mixing that paint. I got a new paint gun to clean out, so I'm gonna show you guys that. And we'll get to work. So. So the next step, since I loosened up all the garbage, is now to use the shop vac to pick up all the crap that's laying around the inside of the car. So I had completely vacuumed out this car before I loosened everything up, but you can see now there's just crap everywhere in here. Yeah, just little junk everywhere that flew out from all the little nooks and crannies. So and I could literally spend hours and hours and hours with a air gun, like chasing stuff around the inside. It's way quicker. Grab a shop vac, suck out all, just knock everything out of the nooks and crannies, get all the dust out, and then suck it up with a shop vac, hit it with air again, see how much more crap you knock up. Hit it with a shop vac one more time and then start wiping down. Now we'll hit it one more time with compressed air. Hopefully get everything else knocked loose and vacuum it up. I got a few things I still need to tape up inside, like the e-brake cables and stuff like that. So, we're getting really close. Alright, while my horribly slow compressor is recharging, I figured I'd show you. So, I hope you can hear me over the compressor, but I blew it out with compressed air at about 80 to 100 psi at the gun, vacuumed everything up, went back, blew it out again, and you can see, well, hopefully you can see, there is, there we go, like at least as much stuff or more came out the second time. So I am going to use compressed air and the vacuum on that little chamber up there and get all that rest of that junk out of there. Because could you imagine if I came in here and painted, all this stuff would have ended up in the primer. My primer would have looked like, well, it would have looked like truck bed liner. So I'm going to finish getting this cleaned up. This is taking a while. Alright, so we're back in the garage. I wanted to kind of go over the equipment I'm going to use here real quick. So, for those of you that remember me spraying the spoiler for the Rally Prius, this is the gun I used. It's a very inexpensive, from a, let's say a well-known discount tool store. I'm not knocking this item in any way. It worked good for what I needed to do. But I wanted to talk to you guys about compressors and CFM requirements a little bit. So if you're planning on doing this at home like I am, chances are you've probably got a smaller compressor. Now if you got a body shop compressor or you rent a paint booth or something like that, there's really no limit. They've got plenty of air, plenty of volume to push the paint out of your gun. So this one was a small, it's the Harbor Freight Special. I said it, sorry. It works good. I mean, it's, for what it is, it's a good tool. But the CFM requirements on this tool are, let's see here, 6 cubic feet of air per minute at 40 psi. So that is really even pushing the limits of my little compressor that I have here. So I picked up this one. I bought it from Eastwood. Again, no deals. Just I just picked it up because I did some homework, and the local paint store has been really helpful in helping me get product and knowledge of how product works and stuff like that. So they were going to sell me a gun, and I was like, well, you know what, let me look and see if my compressor will actually put out enough CFM to run that paint gun. And it was right at the limits. So I looked online, I went to Eastwood, and they have this one. So this one operates at 4.25 CFM at 30 psi, which is well within the range of what my compressor can deliver. So for the projects that I'm doing and the compressor that I have, this is a really good match. Now if I get a bigger compressor down the road, this will still work just fine. You can't ever have too much air, but yeah, if you have not enough, that's a bad thing. So I will keep this. I will use this for other stuff like, you know, who knows, maybe like painting my fence once I finally get that thing built or whatever. But it's still a good tool. It still works. Is it as good as... So I spent one night at, like, just watching paint gun reviews, and you can get, you know, just like anything. I mean, you can spend $400 on a pool stick. I wouldn't. I'd just go play pool at the bar. But so like anything, you can spend a ton of money to do it or a little money to do it. So I'm going to try to spend a little money to do it. So this gun was about $70, and I think they had free shipping on it. And I bought a couple other tools that I was interested in trying out, but this is the one we're going to look at today. So, and big tip, if you ever buy a paint gun, doesn't matter where you buy it from, it says right here, clean your Eastwood paint gun before use. So anytime you buy a paint gun, all the manufacturing, you know, the cutting and all the oils and machining and all that stuff that goes into making a piece of metal, you can't just like unbox it, pour paint it, and shoot it. You gotta clean the material. You gotta clean everything out before you do it. So and it's not really difficult to do. I'm just gonna make sure there's nothing else hiding in this box, which there's not. And my shop is an absolute mess, and I'm really sorry, but it's really bothering me how dirty and piled up and messy things are in here right now. I've just got crap everywhere. But hopefully soon I will be able to take some time and clean the shop. Maybe this week, but I really want to get this done first, so that it has time to dry. While I'm on vacation, I can come back and start putting everything together. So get this thing out of the bag, and you know, it looks really similar to the other one. It's probably in design, it's, you know, probably the same thing. But so I'm just going to go to work. I'm going to clean this thing up, and I'm not really going to talk about it too much, but the instructions here will show you how to break it down, you know, basically if you take one of these apart, it's pretty simple. You have an air cap, a nozzle, a big needle, a spring, and a fluid control knob, and you need to clean all that out. You need to clean out the housing, and then just run some, you know, just like straight up just run some air through it, just with some lacquer thinner or some alcohol. I'm going to use alcohol because it's cheaper and it works good for just cleaning everything out and drying fast. So so that's it. Let's get. So here's the instructions on cleaning this gun out for the first time. So to clean the air passages, turn the gun upside down and spray or pour solvent into the inlet air passage right here. While upside down, squeeze the trigger and let solvent run out of the nozzle. Turn the gun upright and allow remaining solvent to run out in the paint cup. Do it 3 times and ensure the air is fully clean. And then to clean the paint passages, so the air passage comes through the handle here and blows through here. The paint passage basically is this right here. The paint just comes down here into the nozzle and is atomized in here in the tip. Pour some solvent into the paint cup. Remove needle and nozzle per the gun instructions, dip the brush in solvent, remove all the oils, put it all back together, blow it out with compressed air, and now you're ready to paint. So get to work. Okay, so the paint gun is cleaned out. It's ready to put primer in. I wanted to get that done because I didn't want to like wipe this down and then leave everything while I wipe down the interior of the car. And it's like, this seems like timing is better to, the timing is better to get the gun prepped and then do all the wipe down. And then it's only a couple minutes to mix the primer, put it in the gun, and lay the first couple of coats on. So that is what's next. I'm going to wipe down the inside of this car with isopropyl alcohol. It's inexpensive and does a good job of getting rid of all the oils and stuff like that left over from your hands, your sweat, just general like adhesives and stuff like that. So it'll probably take me a little while to wipe it down. You're going to watch it in super speed, so I'm going to get to work. Alright, well, a significant amount of time later, it's almost 1 o'clock. I started this process at about 10:30. We are kind of taped up and ready to go. Everything is masked off that I want to protect. What I did for the doors, I'll show you guys what I did for the doors. Just closed the door with a piece of cardboard in it. I taped up the seams so that the cardboard would be held in place by the door and the tape seals the gap. So that's what I did on both sides. I think I can still reach in and spray everything I need to. So all that's left to do now is mix up paint and start spraying, which I'm going to go do, and I'll be back. I'll turn this thing back on and I'm just going to start laying primer. Good times. Alright everybody, hope you can hear me through this. I am ready to paint. I've got my respirator on. I'm going to wipe or water down the pavement here one more time just to keep my footprints from tracking dust up. And then I'm going to spray a test patch to make sure that my gun is set up right. And then I'm going to lay down primer. So from what I've read online, we're looking for a, oh dear,
seal very well across the top. So what we're looking for is a football shape in our spray pattern. So we can fan that out a little bit. So that's kind of our football we're looking at here. So
Alright everybody, so I did get the paint done, but unfortunately I've just got too much footage to put into one episode. So you're going to have to wait until the next episode to see the finished result. But needless to say, it got done. Super happy with the result, and sorry, you're just going to have to wait. I can see it from where I'm sitting. You're just gonna have to wait until next week to see how it turned out. So until next week, thanks for watching Throttle Grotto, and get out there and work on something.